ಮಾಗೆ ಜಾತಿ ದಿರಿಯುಳ್ಮುಗೆ ಆದಕಾದತಕ ವಶಾಗೆ ಮಾ ಹೌಲಾ ಸೀದಾ ಗುಳುಂ ಹುರಿ ಪಲಿತ ಮಿಗುತುಂ ಕೇಂ ಬೊಯ್ಮುಗೆ ನುರಂಗಳು ಆದತಕ ಹೆಲಿಫೆಲಿವೆಗಳು ಮದೂಮಾ ದುಂಫತ್ ಕೇಸ್ತಿಮಾ ಕುರುಂ ಅದಿ ರಾಬುಯಿಂ ಫದ ಆದಕಾದತಂ ಹಿಮೆನೆ
Making headlines this hour, President Dr. Moise and the government of the Maldives issues a strong condemnation of a recent Israeli military strike on Doha, the capital of the state of Qatar. First Lady Sajida Mohammed underscores the prioritizing the health and well-being of newborns serves as the very foundation of human health. And the Parliamentary Committee on Independent Institutions unanimously approved the public referendum bill, a move that represents a major advance in formalizing public participation in national governance. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSN News in English with me, Idham Naim. President Dr. Mohamed Moise and the government of the Maldives issues a strong condemnation of a recent Israeli military strike on Doha, the capital of the state of Qatar. The attack, which occurred on 9th September, has been described by Maldivian officials as a cowardly act and a flagrant violation of international law.
President Moise conveyed his position through a statement on his official X account, characterizing the assault as a serious violation of international law and a blatant infringement on the sovereignty and territorial integrity of a sovereign nation. He also affirmed the Maldives' support for Qatar, calling for a unified international response to hold Israel accountable. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs echoed the president's remarks in a formal statement, describing the strike as a brutal act by Israeli forces. The ministry said the attack represented a grave infringement upon Qatar's sovereignty, security, and territorial integrity. It warned that Israel's repeated aggression undermines regional security, escalates tensions, and obstructs prospects for peace and stability. The statement also underscored that such illegal actions complicates efforts to establish peace in the Middle East and negatively affect diplomatic initiatives aimed at resolving the conflict. Both the president and the government have urged the international community to take immediate and coordinated action. Their appeals underscore the urgency of holding Israel accountable for its continued violations of international law and the United Nations Charter. The government called for measures to compel Israel to cease its unlawful activities and prevent further deterioration of the regional situation. President Moise reiterated the demand for accountability and swift intervention in response to what he described as Israel's inhumane actions. The Israeli forces attacked Doha as Qatar continues to play a central role in mediating peace negotiations aimed at halting the genocide carried out by Israel in Gaza, Palestine. In addition to its actions in Gaza, Israel has reportedly conducted bombings in Lebanon, Yemen, and Syria and are committing inhumane actions in the West Bank.
President Dr. Mohamed Moise formally congratulates Anutin Charnvirakul on his election as Prime Minister of Thailand, expressing confidence in his leadership and a renewed commitment to advancing diplomatic cooperation.
In a statement issued by the President's office, President Moise described Prime Minister Charnvirakul's premiership as the beginning of a new era of development and prosperity for Thailand and its people. He highlighted the Maldives' intention to work closely with the new Thai government to reinforce the long-standing ties of friendship and mutual respect that have defined relations between the two nations. The statement also outlined aspirations for expanded collaboration across multiple sectors with a focus on joint initiatives and deeper engagement between the Maldivian and Thai populations. Prime Minister Charanivarakul secured the premiership following a vote in Thailand's 492-member Legislative Assembly on the 5th of September. He received 311 votes, surpassing the 247 required to assume office and establishing a clear mandate for his leadership. His political career has been marked by senior roles in government, including terms as Deputy Prime Minister, Interior Minister, and Health Minister. As head of the Bumjai Thai Party, Prime Minister Charnvirakul played a prominent role in Thailand's pandemic response during the global outbreak of COVID-19. President Moise concluded his message with personal wishes for Prime Minister Charnvirakul's continued good health and happiness and expressed hope for lasting peace and prosperity for the people of Thailand.
First Lady Sajida Mohammed underscores that prioritizing the health and well-being of newborns serves as the very foundation of human health.
Speaking at the inauguration of the first ever neonatal nurses conference in the Maldives, the First Lady emphasized that the issue of infant health holds universal relevance, impacting every family, every individual, and shaping the trajectory of future generations. Calling for collaborative action, the First Lady stressed the vital role of cooperation among participants and the exchange of ideas to forge constructive solutions. She acknowledged the field's formidable past challenges and tragic incidents, urging for accelerated progress in the present. First Lady Sajida highlighted the urgent need for enhanced resources, human capacity, and specialized skills. The First Lady expressed her hope that the conference would serve as a crucial platform to thoroughly discuss the existing challenges and resource development within the Maldives, ultimately reaching a consensus on viable solutions. She called for working together for the health of newborns with the expectation that the new ideas and important discussions would lead to positive results. Ultimately, First Lady Sajida articulated a vision where these collective efforts culminate in the creation of a happy and prosperous society built upon the bedrock of healthy beginnings. The conference brings together 40 nurses from across the Maldivian NICUs and regional hospitals, provides a vital platform for discussing international achievements and evidence-based innovations to further strengthen the healthcare system. Tracing its roots back 3 decades with just 5 beds, neonatal specialized care in the Maldives has expanded significantly, dramatically reducing infant mortality rates. Annually, around 1,000 newborns in the country require critical NICU admission. This inaugural conference, designed to share global best practices and research, is poised to further fortify the Maldives healthcare system, ensuring a brighter future for its youngest citizens.
President Dr. Mohamed Moise formally establishes a new state-owned enterprise aimed at resolving persistent shortcomings in the nation's healthcare supply chain. The State Pharmaceutical and Medical Supply Corporation Limited is tasked with centralizing the procurement and distribution of essential medicines, consumables, and equipment across the country.
According to a statement issued by the President's office, the corporation was created under the authority granted by Section 15 of the Companies Act. It is entirely government-owned, with the state holding 100% of its shares, ensuring full administrative control and oversight. At the heart of the initiative is a mandate to strengthen the national supply chain for critical medical resources. The corporation will oversee bulk purchasing and importation of doctor-prescribed pharmaceuticals, medical consumables, and equipment. According to the President's office, it will also ensure that these supplies reach healthcare facilities throughout the country, including those in remote island communities. The announcement follows earlier remarks by President Moise, who identified the procurement of vital medical resources as one of the most pressing challenges facing the healthcare system. His administration has placed the health sector at the center of its policy agenda, advancing reforms aimed at expanding access to care and easing the financial burdens of treatment for citizens. The formation of the corporation aligns with broader efforts to modernize healthcare infrastructure. These include the construction of hospitals and healthcare centers across various islands in the Greater Malay region, as well as the expansion of services under the Asanda Health Insurance Scheme, which now covers treatments previously unavailable to the public.
The Parliamentary Committee on Independent Institutions unanimously approves the public referendum bill, a move that represents a major advance in formalizing public participation in national governance. The committee introduced 3 key amendments to strengthen the legal and procedural foundation for conducting referendums.
The bill was submitted by Ibrahim Falah, Member of Parliament for Inguradu, and seeks to establish a statutory framework for national referendums on constitutional amendments and matters of public concern, areas that have long operated without formal regulation. Its passage through committee signals a pivotal moment in the country's legislative efforts to codify mechanisms for direct civic engagement. After a period of detailed study and deliberation, committee members reached full consensus on the bill's provisions. Among the most consequential changes is a clause requiring that the Elections Commissions of Maldives, or ECM, be allocated the necessary funds to conduct a referendum within 10 days of submitting a formal request. The committee also introduced a provision stipulating that a referendum will be considered passed only if it secures more than 50% of the valid votes cast. A third amendment addresses the timing of referendums. The bill mandates a minimum interval of 45 days between the date on which Parliament passes a resolution or the President issues a decree calling for a vote and the actual date of the referendum. This window is designed to allow adequate time for public discourse, logistical preparation, and voter awareness. In cases where the vote is confined to a specific region rather than conducted nationwide, the ECM is granted discretion to shorten the timeline. The last public referendum in the Maldives was held in 2007 when citizens were asked to choose between a presidential and a parliamentary system of governance. More than 95,000 voters endorsed the presidential model, while approximately 58,500 favored a parliamentary system. That vote remains a defining moment in the nation's democratic history.
Bosch CEO Stefan Hartung says that due to the current market developments, Bosch had to be strong in every region. Hartung spoke at the Munich Auto Show, IAA, Europe's biggest auto show, which opened to public on Tuesday, 9th September.
Bosch CEO Stefan Hartung said it was too early to assess how the tariffs between Europe and the United States would affect the company. Still, Hartung believed Bosch's sales to remain stable in the automotive sector. He highlighted that there is still potential for growth come end of this year in the current market conditions. He further reiterated that his only concern is high tariffs may stifle the growth potential in the market. Bosch had been among other companies who announced job cuts in response to the slowing economy, which the German car parts maker wanting to cut up to 1,100 jobs by 2029.
Qatari Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani says during a press conference that the mediation efforts are part of the Qatari identity and nothing would deter its role in that regard hours after Israel attacks Hamas leaders in Doha.
Qatari Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani said U.S. officials first warned Qatar of the Israeli attack 10 minutes after the attack began, describing the attack as treacherous. Israel launched an airstrike against the leaders of Arch for Hamas in Qatar, escalating its military action in the Middle East with what the White House described as a unilateral attack that does not advance American and Israeli interest.
The attack happened at 3:46. The first call we had from an American official was at 3:56, which is 10 minutes after the attack. And after that, President Trump has spoken with His Highness the Emir. He condemned the attack, and the U.S. government positioned that they have no knowledge about the attack nor any coordination about it until it started to happen.
The attack, which drew condemnation from key regional countries such as Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, risked derailing Gaza ceasefire talks and President Donald Trump's push to achieve a negotiated end to the nearly 2-year-old conflict between Israel and Hamas. Qatar is a key security partner of the United States and host to Al Udeid Air Base, the largest U.S. military facility in the Middle East. It has acted as a mediator alongside Egypt in talks on a ceasefire in Gaza, which is becoming increasingly elusive. Hamas said 5 of its members had been killed in the attack, including the son of Hamas's exiled Gaza chief and top negotiator, Khalil al-Hayya. It said Israel had failed in what Hamas called an attempt to assassinate the group's ceasefire negotiation team.
England takes a huge step towards automatic qualification for the World Cup, with captain Harry Kane paving the way for a crushing 5-0 victory away to main Group K rivals Serbia.
While Kane netted his record-extending 74th England goal, Nadi Madueke, Ezri Konsa and Mark Guehi all scored their first senior international goals in an emphatic win. England have a maximum 15 points from 5 games and could seal automatic qualification as group winners next month. Criticized for a labored home defeat of Andorra on Saturday, England produced their best performance under head coach Thomas Tuchel to punish a timid Serbia display. After an uneventful start against a host side camped in their own half, Kane headed his team in front from Declan Rice's corner in the 33rd minute, and soon after Madueke made it 2-0 after racing onto a clever flick by Morgan Rogers. 7 minutes after the break, it was Konsa's turn to open his England account and put the visitors in cruise control with a close-range finish that was allowed after a VAR check. Serbia's night went from bad to worse when Nikola Milenkovic was sent off in the 73rd minute for a foul on Kane from Rice's resulting free kick. Guehi arrived to make it 4-0. Substitute Marcus Rashford rounded it off with a late penalty after a foul on Ollie Watkins as England's fans celebrated in an emptying stadium. England led the group by 7 points from Albania, with Serbia's first defeat in the group, leaving them third on 7 points with a game in hand. The group winners qualify for next year's finals, with the runners-up going into the playoffs. There was very little jeopardy once England's qualifying group was drawn, and they are making qualification for next year's finals look like a walk in the park. That they will be in the showpiece was almost a given, but doubts have remained about England's progress since Tuchel took over from Gareth Southgate.
We play the game how it plays out, and we were very strong. I think it was teamwork in its purest form. We helped each other out. We had the right intensity in the right moments. We put the work in to not allow one shot on target for a strong home team. And if you want to do this, you need to support each other. You need to play disciplined and keep the intensity up. This is what we did, and players did excellent, so full credit to the team. We had, I told you before, we had a brilliant week from start to finish, and this was the proof of it.
Some of the performances under the German former Chelsea and Bayern Munich coaches' watch have been turgid. But on Tuesday, they made a statement against a side they narrowly beat 1-0 in last year's European Championship.
As spring blooms in South Africa and people rush to sculpt their summer bodies, walking among them in a park in Johannesburg is online fitness coach and content creator Kopano Mokele, who undertakes a deliberate effort to gain 30 kilograms in 120 days and planning to lose it all again by November in a bold move to better empathize with his clients. Documenting his journey on TikTok, Mokele shares daily moments of eating burgers, drinking soda. His clothes no longer fit and he is struggling to breathe. All this to provide his followers with an unfiltered glimpse into the physical and emotional challenges of gaining weight. Mokele explained that his initiative stemmed from frustration over clients hitting a plateau in their fitness journeys, where progress stalls, resulting in a little to no motivation. Since beginning this personal challenge, however, he has realized that overcoming obesity is far more complex than simply getting off the couch, counting calories, and hitting the gym.
Once I experienced the painful feet trying to do my morning walk, it really clicked. When I had the desire to I don't want to eat healthy, but it was very difficult because of the cravings, the appetites. It really clicked. And this is the stuff that I knew because my clients would tell me. But once I was fully in, it was like I was more empathetic, and it gave me a bigger respect for my clients who firstly decided that they want to lose weight.
Medical expert Dr. Tracy Nelwamando warns of the serious health risks Mokele faces, including high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and liver issues, highlighting the unpredictable timeline of obesity-related complications and the essential need for professional support in weight management. According to the World Health Organization, WHO's new non-communicable diseases NCDs estimate on obesity publishes in 2024, South Africa had the highest proportion of obese adults in the African region in 2022, with 30.8% of adults affected. Dr. Nelmo Mondo voiced her apprehensions on Mokele's experiment. Through his honest posts and personal reflections, Mokele aims to bridge the empathy gap with his clients, demonstrating the true complexities of both weight gain and weight loss from a first-hand perspective in an attempt to enhance his ability to better guide others along their fitness journeys. That concludes news for now. Thank you for watching PSM News. Have a good day.
Allah